First, a story to grab you. Imagine the heart of Moscow glowing under a night sky filled with firestorms, barely any safe zone left, alarms wailing across the city as drones soar overhead, the crack of explosions. The terror, and in that moment, the world asks, how did Ukraine manage to turn the Russian capital into a battlefield? Hello everyone, welcome back to the Frontline Report channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. Tonight we dissect breaking news. Ukrainian drones turn Moscow into firestorm. We'll go deep exterior, interior, performance, safety, unique selling points, price and military/strategic cost terms, and then wrap up with a conclusion you won't forget. In the exterior view, this is not a luxury car or gadget, it's a warfare system. So we see destroyed buildings, smoldering rooftops, black smoke curling into the night sky, shattered windows, craters in roads, streetlights flickering, fire trucks dashing through burning districts, sirens echoing. Drone silhouettes weave overhead, tracers of missile fire cutting through the darkness. Moscow's skyline distorted by the glow of conflagrations. The visuals are apocalyptic. This is urban warfare in full force. Every block becomes contested territory. The night turns to day in flashes of incendiary destruction. You see power substations hit, electrical grids down, entire city blocks blacked out, firestorms raging, civilians fleeing in panic, emergency crews navigating through rubble. That is the exterior stage of this brutal drama. Inside Moscow's core, inside its nerve centers, inside command halls, you imagine tension, confusion, defense scrambling. But in our short interior. Paragraph: the Kremlin bunkers are on high alert, air defense, radar consoles blinking red, military personnel hurriedly coordinating intercepts. Communication lines crackling, city infrastructure control rooms struggling to reroute power lines. Emergency coordination centers filled with maps and markers showing drone paths and impact zones. The interior is chaos managed, a nervous cage with high stakes. Performance here refers to how effectively Ukraine's drones and tactics have delivered results. The drones penetrated deep into Russian airspace, reaching Moscow, the symbolic and strategic core. They triggered conflagrations, overwhelmed defenses, forced Russian air defenses to scramble, inflicted damage on critical infrastructure, and sowed panic. Their performance shows range, stealth, coordination, precision, flying through heavily defended zones and striking multiple targets almost simultaneously. They forced Russia to deploy costly interceptors. They also displayed adaptability, varying flight paths, altitude, speed, decoys, electronic warfare support. The fact that Moscow, long considered safe distance, came under fire speaks to how far the performance envelope has been pushed. On the safety features in military systems, safety is about fail, safes, redundancy, jamming resistance, self-destruct features, and minimizing collateral damage. These drones likely carry built-in counter, jamming capacities, encrypted communication links to avoid interception, backup navigation, GPS plus inertial loss of satellite signal doesn't doom the mission, redundant propulsion systems, fail-safe self-destruct or return, home protocols to prevent capture, stealth coatings to reduce radar signature, low-altitude flight to avoid detection, and data links that minimize exposure. Also, targeting software to discriminate between military vs civilian areas as much as war allows to reduce unintentional civilian damage. Safety for operators. Remote piloting from secure ground stations with shielded comms ensures they stay out of harm's way. Unique selling points. This is what sets this capability apart. First, strategic reach. Striking Moscow is not just tactical, it's symbolic, psychological warfare. Secondly, stealth and evasiveness. These drones slip past defenses, which undermines the belief of invulnerability. Third, multiplicity. Large swarm operations or coordinated multi-drone strikes, saturating defenses. Fourth, flexibility. Ability to switch targets mid-flight, dynamic retargeting. Fifth, cost-effectiveness. Drones are much cheaper than manned aircraft, so per strike cost is low relative to damage inflicted. Sixth, scalable. Uses modular payloads, can scale from small tactical strikes to deep raids. Seventh, psychological impact. Fear, disruption, forcing Russia to divert defenses inland. Eighth, signaling, demonstrating that no place is beyond reach. Price in this war context. We talk costs rather than retail price. Building, deploying, maintaining, securing these drones, and supporting systems, electronic warfare, ground stations, logistics, personnel, that's the price. But compared to the cost of launching manned bombers or ballistic missiles, drones are a bargain. The cost per drone might be in the tens of thousands to low hundreds of thousands of dollars, while damage-inflicted disruptions, loss of infrastructure, need to rebuild, defensive expenditure scales into millions or more. Russia is forced to spend heavily on interceptors, air defense systems, repairs, and civil defense. So the price tag on this asymmetric attack is heavily in Ukraine's favor, but there is also risk, loss of drone assets, attrition, countermeasures. Each drone lost is a consumption of capital and technology. Also, potential escalation cost political, diplomatic fallout, retaliation. So in pure military accounting, Ukraine pays low to moderate cost for high impact effect. Conclusion, what does this all mean? This firestorm over Moscow is more than a headline, it signals a paradigm shift in modern warfare. The distances of safety have shrunk. The barrier between front lines and rear zones is porous. Ukraine has demonstrated that, with ingenuity, drones, and resolve, symbolic strongholds are vulnerable. Russia's aura of invincibility is pierced. The psychological blow is massive. If Moscow burns, nowhere is untouchable. Yet, the cost-benefit calculations, our delicate resources are finite. Ukraine must sustain this pressure without overextending, defend against Russian countermeasures, protect civilians, and manage geopolitical backlash. The next chapters will see Russia doubling down on air defenses, counter, drone technologies, escalation, and perhaps retaliation. But for now, Ukraine has broken a symbolic threshold and altered the narrative. Moscow is no longer a safe hinterland. It's a front line in the broader war of wills. Let me know in comments what you think is next: retaliation, arms escalation, or diplomatic fallout. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell to stay updated on the breaking stories from the front lines.